actually, since Sri Lanka does not have any sign of second tier patent protection, we can go for this trade secret protection. But when we move to this trade secret protection, it's not a very comprehensive one. It lacks detailed provisions. For an example, detailed provisions in the Intellectual Property Act, we would be more successful in protecting these inventions of small and medium-sized enterprises.
We can see even Sri Lankan supermarkets doing this. You take songs and you put on the PA system and put on your chain stores. We'll say 750 stores were there in this particular. Can you turn that a little bit to my side? This because I'm not having any. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So they were amplifying the same songs and sending it to 750 stores across different locations. Even in this situation, the US courts held that it is not a public performance because they have already brought the license to play it there. Now, in Australia, the situation was a bit different. Of course, this is a bit of a different thing. In the Australian Performing Rights Association sued a company because they took this particular training video. It was not a commercial, the public didn't see. It was not a commercial screening, but they used it for training their employees. And there was a 25-second music bed on the training video for which performance license have not been taken. The thinking was different in Australia. Justice Gamo, I hope I got the name correct, he said the occasion of performance was imparting the information by the employer to the employee, and the musical work was used to facilitate that process. So you should have taken performance license when you do that. In Singapore, and in other countries also, there was similar cases to this. This is a very common thing. You should be careful if you are theatre owners. The screening of films to a public is a public performance, and the musical soundtrack in the film, if not embodied in the contract, has been given, that means the license is given, it is considered you have to take a separate license for public performance of music. This is what Singapore case was saying. And another very, I don't know whether you call it narrow interpretation or a strict interpretation in this case. Another Australian case was that there's this popular place, Metro. It's a popular musical venue, and I'm sure Alan been there. And they had this agreement which said that they have a disclaimer clause. Whoever comes and performs here, you should take license to perform and do everything, and we are not going to be responsible. But the court held no. If, as you can see from the judgment, if there was mere knowledge that infringing is likely by the performance, this is sufficient for the venue owner also to be liable. If you have been yesterday at the BMICH, we played a lot of stuff at the opening ceremony. BMICH would have been liable if there was no performance license taken to any of these acts that were performed there, and they can't put it on the organizers and get away with it, according to this judgment, 2004.
With all this construction going on, I think there's a pressing need, and this is a theme that I'd like to take throughout my presentation. There is a need for clear planning and for proper policy direction. The government appears to be aware of this, and there are several interesting initiatives which are underway, which were briefly touched upon by Mr. Neelakandan. There is the megapolis concept. This project would aim to develop the Western province into a mega city. Legislation needs to be brought in to give legal teeth and muscle to the new megapolis authority, because otherwise there's going to be clearly a conflict between the megapolis concept and the urban development authorities zoning. I've mentioned the pitfalls of the current lack of policy consistency, clarity and certainty. There are also other issues which are mentioned in a recent publication of the Oxford Business Group, which produced a report on Sri Lanka. And for anyone who has clients who are interested in the overall state of Sri Lanka and the different sectors of the economy, I'd highly commend this publication. It's quite unique. It's the most recent comprehensive report on key sectors of the Sri Lankan economy. Speak to Mr. Upul Jayasuriya, Chairman of the BOI, former President of the Bar Association, he was a live wire behind this project. Right, now we have here a summary of what actually governs urban land use in our capital city. That's a document gazetted with full legal authority by the Urban Development Authority. It's called the City of Colombo Development Plan. There have been several versions of that plan. The latest version was the 2008.
It's important for our session today. It's not merely the angle taken by each of our brethren and sisters. That which we all must take when we leave that door is that the world is changing. We have got new frontiers coming in by the name of OBOR, One Belt, One Road, from China, where the Silk Road journey from Middle East to China and the sea, Southern Sea sail up to Middle East, is now being brought together under a contractual term to unite together under the pretext or language of commerce, business and trade. Fair enough, there may be some degree of sincerity, but at the same time, we need to be cautious also. On the other hand, we have the other big brother, United States of America, coming with TPPA, Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, another contract, which consists of Canada, United States of America, Mexico, Chile, Peru, not everybody, and from the side, New Zealand, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei, Vietnam, and Japan, not everybody. And this partnership also promises free trade, equality, better life, better regulations, better laws. Again, we have to be cautious. The world is changing, and no one is an island. Everybody will be affected. Every country will be affected. While the big players have their own reasons and motives, end of the day, the simple rule of every trade and every existence is, if there's only one bread to eat, and we have got one huge brother on this end, quite huge, and we've got a little puny person on the other hand, quite small size. You can imagine if they are going to play tug and war, who will win and who will get beaten.